Howdy folks, why? Why is the question. Why am I buying these high ester, high proof Hampden rums? They're hard to drink, they're expensive, they taste wild. Why do I do it? I think I'm just falling for that sort of mystique of rarity, that comes up a lot in the spirits world, and it's pretty dumb. Yeah, so I don't know why, but I can't seem to help myself. I just want to know what these sort of very unique bottles taste like. Anyway, I fell for the marketing again. This time it's a single mark, single barrel Hampden rum. It's picked out by Esther Wines. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is Hampden Distillery. It is the mark HGML. It was distilled in 2017 and it's been aged for 5 years. It was picked out specifically by Esther Wines. I bought it from them and it was about $160, and that was with the discount that they gave me. They sent me an email and said, hey, do you want this bottle? I said yes. Now, HGML stands for Hampden George Mafarquhar Lawson. I don't know who that is, but that name is amazing. George Mafarquhar Larson. Anyway, it designates esters at a level of 1,000 to 1,100. That is very high. I have some other higher ester ones as well, like the LROK is only 300, and that's still pretty funky. I also have the highest possible one. It's called DOK, and that one's almost undrinkable. So this is a very, very high ester level, but not the highest. It comes in at 60% alcohol, and why did I buy this? I have no idea. It's an illness, I guess. So I decided today to have a flight of Hampden Rums. We're going to try this new HGML. I have some LROK, which is about 300 in the ester zone. And then I'll try also the regular Hampden Overproof, the sort of the core line Hampden 8-year that's 60% alcohol. Before we get into that, just a quick side note. These rum tasting videos, they're the ones where I get the most positive feedback, but they don't necessarily get tons of views. I'm kind of hoping that if you like the rum tasting videos, go ahead and leave a comment down below. It really helps the morale. Maybe you could also share this around, maybe send it to someone that you like. That might help the algorithm send this out to more rum lovers on YouTube. And that might boost up my morale. Okay, let's get into these rums. Okay, we're gonna start with the LROK. It's 5 years old. It's called LROK the Younger. I believe I've mentioned this in a previous video. You can check that other video out as well, but let's just give it a taste. Actually, it says the ester level on the bottle. It says right here, 314.8. Now, that's pretty high, but not the sort of astronomical level of some of these rums. Like most Hampdens, it's aged in ex-bourbon barrels. This one's 5 years old. It was distilled in 2016. Let's give it a try. It's kind of a light golden color. It's got that... It's got a very strong, that sort of acidic, butterscotchy biscuit sort of Hampden smell to it. Now this is 47% alcohol, which isn't particularly high, but it has sort of a very hot sort of nose to it. Let's give it a taste. That sort of acidity of the Hampden, as it dissolves on your tongue, it sort of turns into this sort of coconutty, banana sort of fruitiness. That's pretty good. I actually like this with a little bit of water because even though 47%, it's not that bad. It's a little water actually helps mellow it out quite a bit. Okay, so I put a little bit of water in just to make things easier on me, and even on the nose, it's less harsh on the nose already, which is kind of cool. One other thing to note, I'm almost done with this bottle. I've really been enjoying this one pretty well. And so I guess it's not so bad to replace this bottle with something new. He said justifying his purchases with a little water is just so much easier to take. It calms down the acidic nature of it and brings forth more of the fruity elements, I really enjoy that one. Let's move on. I'm going to try the Hampden Overproof. It's in their core line. It's a blend of different marks, and it's 8 years old. It is visibly darker than the 5-year-old, which makes a lot of sense. All of these, by the way, are aged at the distillery in Jamaica in tropical conditions in ex-bourbon barrels. In the label, it says 8 years in Jamaica is like 25 years in a cooler place. I don't know if I buy that exactly, but it is hot in Jamaica, and a lot of aging happens there pretty quickly. Right on the nose, you definitely get more of the wood influence There's more of a sort of vanilla, sort of caramely aroma to it, and the funkiness is much calmer. Like they've mixed in, obviously, more of the lower mark rums for this, which I assume are easier and cheaper to make. I put a little water in preemptively just to ease the passage here. Much woodier, much less of the sort of acidic funkiness, but it still has some of those nice fruit notes. I don't enjoy sipping this one as much as I enjoy the sort of more intense, higher ester ones. I'm not sure why that is. I really do like the lower proof regular Hampden 8-year. That one, I had a bottle of that recently, and it went really quickly. But I do like to use this Hampden in rum old fashions just to bump up the proof a little and give it a little kick, you know. And even with some water, the 60% overproof really sort of tingles your tongue, you know. It gives you a little bit of a numbing feeling. Interesting. By the way, I've had this bottle of Overproof longer than I've had the LROK, but it's still half full. Like, I just don't reach for it that often. Okay, so now the star of the show. Single barrel Hampden HGML, distilled in 2017. It is, I have bottle 128 of 262, so pretty limited run, you know, that exclusivity, you know, that rarity makes you want to pay $160 for it, which I did. This is back to that pale gold color, similar to the LROK, but it's got, oh my God, just a very intense nose. It doesn't smell as hot as the LROK, which is odd because it is higher proof, but, well, maybe it does actually. On second sniff, it is pretty kind of burning the sinuses. Get again a lot of that Hampden acidic biscuity quality to it. It doesn't smell like 3 times as intense as the LROK, which is a little bit strange. I am again going to put a little water in just to save my brain. Yeah, and again, the water really opens it up. It dulls down that sort of intense alcohol burn on the nose. Makes it a lot easier to get the flavors out of it. It's still very intense. Oh my gosh, it is. Whew. The LROK devolved into sort of, you know, that sort of banana coconut fruitiness. This stays very intense the whole way. It's very, not bitter, it's very acidic. It's very butterscotch. It's like a very acidic butterscotch. It's the only way I can describe it. It's very intense. I'm not sure if this is one that I really would want to sip on very often, but it's very interesting, and I'm hoping to find some people who might appreciate it around town. I can have them over and have a sip of rum. I do think this would make an excellent addition to an old-fashioned that would just to bump up the intensity level. Okay, I think my favorite of these is the LROK. It's got an intensity of flavor, but it's lower proof. It isn't quite as overwhelming. And I think they put these out on a regular basis, so you should be able to get it. The regular Hampden Overproof is good, but it doesn't have quite the intensity, but it does have the disadvantage of being so high proof. So instead of the Overproof, I would just prefer to get the regular 8-year. That stuff's really good. And what about this single barrel HGML? I don't know, it's pretty intense. It's a little bit hard to deal with. I'll probably mix it into an old fashioned and see how I like that. I have a feeling this bottle's gonna stick around for a while, but it's very interesting. I'm not sad that I bought it because when else would I try something so crazy? Anyway, do you fall for the rare bottle mania? If you do, let me know down in the comments. Also, spread the word a little bit about old Uncle Pete. I could really use that morale boost. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.